Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's conversation about the Trecena of Kej, the Trecena of our harmony with nature, the Trecena of our ancestral authority and the ancestral authorities in our lives inside of us and developing our leadership through those ancestral authorities. Kej means deer. Kej literally means deer in Quiche Maya. In Kej is the nawal or the spirit animal of Kej. And it's the spirit animal of Kej because it's a quiet, tender, gentle creature who is very sure-footed, and very connected to nature. How Kej is our connection to the harmony with nature. It's our ability to connect deeply with the harmony of nature and to harmonize ourselves with the earth, air, fire, and water, with the elements, with the intelligence of those elements, with the powers and abilities that those four elements provide for us in the four wisdom paths: the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, and the mental. Those four pathways, those four elements, and the four cardinal directions are, as you know, perhaps by now, they are ruled by the four grandparent couples, the four original Quiche grandmothers and grandfathers who brought us the first fire ceremony on the first day that the sun rose after a very long period of darkness, according to the Popol Vuh. The four Balamib, Balam Kitse, Balam Akab, Mahankukta, and Ikbalam, and their four spouses, Kapalocha, Chomicha, Tsununicha, and Kakishicha, the sacred grandmother waters, and the grandfather jaguar sages. Those four couples, those four original men and women, are the ones who brought us the fire ceremony and brought us an awareness of gratitude for the intelligence and authority of the four elements and the four directions. The Popol Vuh recounts to us that on um, a sacred mountain called Akabitz, which we now call Sacribal in the department of Quiche, the four Balomeb and the four Ashukwahab made the first ceremony offering. These four grandparent couples are the ones who bring us stability. They bring us our connection with the four elements, and our harmony with those elements is what brings us our ancestral authority. So this Trecena of Kej is about developing our harmony with nature, from which all of our creativity comes, our art and our music, our writing, our storytelling. All of our good creativity is most of it inspired by nature and the elements of nature. So connecting with nature and Mother Nature is interesting. We've just been in the Trecena of Ish. So we've really been connecting with Divine Mother and Mother Nature in the previous Trecena. And I really want you to see how there's a beautiful flow, how this greater order of connection between the Trecenas as they build upon each other. We've come from the Trecena of Emosh, where we're working on our emotional intelligence, our emotional awareness, our ability to listen to ourselves deeply and to develop and release emotional trauma so that we can develop our psychic abilities in that Trecena of emotion. Then we entered the Trecena of Ish, where we got more grounded and more connected to our uniqueness and our personal power and our personal expression, connected to Divine Mother. And now in the Trecena of Kej, we're really getting an opportunity to develop our leadership. The great leaders, Belecheb Kej was a great leader of the Quiche people, and he was killed by the by the Spanish conquistadores when Gumarcaj was sacked by them in the early days of the conquest of Guatemala and the conquest of the Quiche people. Kej is the Nawal of ancestral authority because it's the Nawal that connects us to the harmony with these elements of nature. And knowing and understanding the intelligence and wisdom of the elements gives us the opportunity to be better leaders in our community. And this Trecena, I'm going to kind of, as we go through it, I want you to pay attention to how it's helping us to develop and greater awareness and appreciation of our harmony with nature and also of our leadership and and developing how we develop our leadership ability personally through our own life and living. So on the first day, one Kej, we're reminded of the one greatness of Mother Nature. One Kej is the one wholeness of Mother Nature, of all of nature, without divisions, without separations. This Trecena of one Kej strikes a chord of oneness coming from the Trecena of Ish of all possibilities. This Trecena is focusing our attention on the four elements and the wisdom and intelligence that we receive from them, which builds our own personal and ancestral authority and really brings us stability, which is another keynote of Kej. So today asks us to evaluate how our own path in life is aligned with the elements, the elemental pathways, the four wisdom pathways, the wisdom and intelligence of Balam Kitse and Kachpalocha, Balamakab and Chomicha, Mahankuta and Sununicha, Ikbalam and Kakishicha. The intelligence of the fire, the air, the water, and the air, the earth, the fire, the air, earth, the water, and the air. So today, on the first day of the Trecena one Kej, I ask you to go to nature. Please go to nature on this day. Start out the Trecena giving thanks for your connection and how you harmonize with nature. The sounds of nature, the vibrations of nature, being in nature, I really have noticed how well it tunes me. It attunes me to the language of nature. It attunes me to my own self-awareness, to my own personal authority. So I encourage you on the first day to go into nature, to be one with nature, to harmonize with nature, and to give thanks for this harmonizing and this resonance building. A lot of times we get busy in our lives with all that we're doing, thinking, creating, and it's so important for us all to stop and be silent and quiet like the deer and just observe quietly, observing ourselves and observing the natural world around us and how that attunes us. This is the power of Kej. This is the full power and possibilities of all of nature. Right now around me, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on this video, but there's the sound of crickets chirping away. here in San Pedro La Laguna, and it's just magical and it's just wonderful. I've just completed a fire ceremony here. 13 Keme is the day today, and giving thanks for a friend's Nimakich, 13 Keme, and for all of her transformations. At the end of the ceremony, I was so aware of the sounds of the chirping of the bats, really listening to them and really connecting to them and really connecting to their reception and closure of the ceremony, and really how beautiful that felt to all of us. That resonance with nature, that connecting with the sounds of nature, the smells of nature, the colors of nature, has so much power for us. And so there's no better way to really express the power of the Trecena and of the first day than to just go out there and be with Mother Nature. That's the spirit of this day. Tu Kanil, Keb Kanil, Achau Keb Kanil is the seed and the star. And this day is reminding us of our duality, the duality of darkness and light. It's reminding us that as we are all stars, as we are all seeds that are germinated and conceived in darkness, we are all conceived in darkness. We all created in darkness. That we need darkness to germinate and to gather our strength and the nutrition and the, the wisdom and intelligence of Mother Earth before we sprout or before we're born into the light of day. Tu Kanil really draws attention to this very special aspect of the seed in darkness. And so today, make friends with the darkness. Make friends with, and imagine how you were once that seed in your mother's womb when you were conceived in darkness, and that you've grown, and that you have grown and grown and multiplied, and that is the true power of the seed of Ahau Keb Kanil, a very important power of growth, of continued growth, of continued nurturing yourself and your growth through darkness and light. Today, I can think of no better way to honor the day Tu Kanil in honoring your own darkness. To be a good leader is to understand your own darkness and the power of the darkness and the power to work with the darkness in positive ways rather than being ruled by a fear of the darkness. So embrace the darkness around you. Yeah, we all have those dark nights of the soul, which are sometimes highly underrated um, arenas for personal growth. The power to grow is an incredibly important power of nature, the power of the seed to grow. And this is the second day in the Trecena of Kej. So connect with the seed and connect with the darkness and connect with how in your own life, if you can imagine for yourself how you've recomposted yourself over and over, how you have changed and grown from a child to an adolescent to an adult to perhaps an elder, and how through all of that change and growth, you outgrow your identity, you outgrow your own mind, you outgrow your own interests and desires and dreams. But what never stops happening is we never stop growing and changing. And part of our growth and change is releasing back to Mother Earth our changes so that that becomes part of the rich, fertile territory that nourishes our new growth. The third day in the Trecena of Kej is Three Toch, and this day reminds me of the three stones for the cooking fire. There's three stones that hold a clay pot over the flame so that food can be cooked. The most very basic hearth, the three hearthstones. The three hearthstones being gratitude, respect, and humility. Those are the three hearthstones of Doch. Our power of gratitude, our power of humility, and our power of respect. These are ancestral values. Feel gratitude. Invite your own humility, your own respect, and your own gratitude. Doch is a great day to make acts of charity, of making donations, making your offerings. On the day three Doch, in the most simple way, I would suggest to you to honor the three values that I spoke to you: respect, humility, and gratitude. Those three key component, three hearthstones that really are so important to maintaining the fire of our authority and our stability and our harmony with Mother Nature and all of her creatures. Humility brings us very close to Mother Nature. Respecting Mother Nature is so important. I think you can all feel what I'm saying. Yeah, and that harmony with nature is something that we all feel so grateful for. So tune into those three on Three Toch, and to also acknowledge that by embracing humility, being humble, embracing respect, and being respectful, even to people who aren't respectful to us, and to be grateful even for the darkness, and even for the challenges, and even for the difficulties, as well as the abundance and the opportunities and the growth and the change and the new possibilities. We really can lead others by embracing these values, by embracing humility, respect, and gratitude. Practicing this in our life is practicing the leadership of Do. So that's how we can all work our way towards the ancestral authority. And in this case, those are some pretty great ancestral authorities to work toward. 4Z gives us an amazing and empowering and powerful day that brings us the laws of nature, the laws of the earth, air, wind, and fire, and our authority to work with those laws. 4Z, the law, the authority, our personal choice, and our personal will, asks us and invites us to align our will and our authority with the authority of the spiritual pathway, the fire, the physical pathway, the earth, the emotional and intuitive and sensual pathway of water, and the mental pathway of the mind. Having the authority to work with the elements in our bodies and in our lives in these ways brings us true authority, true ancestral authority. Here on the fourth day of the Trecena of Kej, we are gaining, we are being gifted the four staffs of authority. Imagine them, feel them, draw them. Draw the four staffs of wisdom. Draw them for yourself. Create them for yourself. How does the staff of the authority of the wind and of the water and of the fire and the lightning and of all of the earth and of darkness. What does that look like for you? Can you hold that? Can you imagine it? You could make art about it. You can do a meditation about it. I'm suggesting this to you as a way to really work with the energy of the day for Tzi Kahib Tzi. Four important authorities. And who are those ancestral authorities? Remember, Balamakab, authority of the earth and all darkness. Balam Kitse, authority of the fire, of the sun, and of all energy and spirit. Mahankuta, authority of the waters, of the senses, of the power of water. And Ikbalam, authority of the wind and of the breath of life, and of all intelligence and our connection to the ancestral intelligence through our peace of mind. These are tremendous authorities that I invite you to, on this day, also acknowledge and also aware of imbalances or where you don't necessarily feel that authority. Ask Ahau, Kahib Tzi, Ahau for Tzi. Give me greater stability and balance in my authority in the four wisdom paths, in the four intelligences in my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ahau Tzi. Thank you, Ahau Fortzi, Ahau Kahibzi, for bringing me this true stability, the authority of the laws of the four elements of nature. And when we honor the earth, the air, the fire, and the water in this way, we become leaders for the ancestral authority. It's also what we're working on here. All of us are leaders. By aligning our personal will with the divine will of the elements, and by seeking guidance from the four elements, seeking friendship, seeking wisdom, seeking advice. That's the energy of Tzi. Remember to go to the great authorities. I invite you all to speak to the teachers of the four cardinal directions of the four elements, the original grandmothers and grandfathers. 5 Bats weaves creativity into our harmony with nature. Creativity is such an important part of the energy of Kej. On the 5th day, we're getting the creative juice, the creative fire, the creative weaving, the storytelling, the music making. This is the great power. This is the home for making art and music, nature. When we align ourselves as any musician, as any artist, as any dancer in their own hearts and their own experiences, know their own experiences with the elements of water, of wind, of fire, the inspiration of these elements, the inspiration of flowers, of songs, of birds, the inspiration of all of nature and all of her majesty. This is the inspiration, the creative inspiration that comes to us on the 5th day, 5 Bats. A great day to make art of any kind, to write, to sing, work on your art, and patronize the arts. If you don't feel artistically inclined, you can also express this power through patronizing the arts and artists. So buy some art. Find an artist you like and buy some art from them. Because the supporting arts supports creativity. And that's what the creative love, the creative healing love of Ahau Bats is the ancestral authority within all of us. And it comes in, the creativity comes in many forms. Some of us create with food, some of us create with words, some of us create with paints, some of us create with music, with dance, some of us create with mothering. There are many, many ways that we create. And when we create with love and in harmony with nature, boom, incredible things happen. So we have this harmony with nature and creativity coming together in explosive ways. I can't wait to hear about the fireworks in your life on 5 butts. 6A brings the spirit of our personal path and the power to move us forward in this development of our harmony with nature and in the development of our ancestral authority and our leadership. So go out there and walk in nature. 6A is a great day to go. Anytime is a great time to go walk in nature. Make a point of walking in nature. Make a point of walking in nature and walking. Maybe you walk in all 4 directions. Maybe you walk and notice the elements, the 4 elements. Maybe you notice the 4 elements as well as the heavens and the earth. The heart of heaven, the heart of the earth, and the 4 elements give us 6 points. 6A, you could think of the 6 pathways that lead from your center, going up to the heart of the heaven, going down to the heart of Mother Earth. Those 2, as well as the 4 cardinal directions. You can work with that, those pathways in your own meditation on 6A, and to be grateful for for those 4 wisdom paths and for those 2 energetic pathways and how they charge your life. And they're really the ones bringing you life that is sustainable. We talk a lot about sustainability. I've heard a lot about sustainability. I think that the Cholki and the Mayan spirituality is so perfect for us because it tethers us and reconnects us and it weaves us into Mother Nature and into the elements and into this authority. The supreme authority of the Mayan spiritual system is this authority of Kej. The great authorities, the great leaders are the ones who are Kej, who are born on the day Kej. So there are many pathways. 6A is reminding us of those many pathways, but especially of the 4 cardinal directions and of the pathway to heaven and the pathway to the heart of the Mother Earth, and that we find our own way, each one of us. And so how can we express our leadership, folks? How can we express our leadership? We're talking about leadership now in the Trecena of Kej. How can we do that? We can do that by following our own path. Can do that following our own path with respect and humility, staying on our path and on our course, not nosing around in other people's paths, not butting into other people's paths when we're not being asked to do that. That's what our ancestors did and teach us. What my grandparents taught me, they didn't always practice it, but I do believe it's an ancestral value to appreciate someone's path and privacy, and also appreciate your own path and your own privacy. We don't have to announce to everyone our personal path. Just know that we have it. So on this day, just connect quietly to it. Take that walk in nature and give thanks for the 4 directions and the heavenly path and the earthly path, and also for your personal path. Really connect with this power. This is a tremendous authority. And if you think about it, and if you feel it, and if you know it, following your own true path leads you to your true power. And a good leader will lead you to your own true power. And that is the leadership of a Haukich. So we can also be good leaders if we are stewards to lead others to their own path. Don't follow me. A leader in this case, talking about leadership in this Trecena, let's be very clear. that leadership does not mean follow me. Leadership means I encourage you to follow your own path, just as those who have trained me have encouraged me to follow my own path. That empowers all of us. It feels really good. So keep following your own path and encourage others to follow theirs. It is so important for all of us, and that's how we can be leaders in the world today. 7 Ach brings us to the midpoint of the Trecena. And again, this is an authority building power. The midpoint is always a pivotal point. This is the power of our sacred space, of our altar. We visited the sacred space of the hearth in Tritoch. We visited the authority of the 4 wisdom paths in 4Z. Now we're visiting the authority and the ability to connect with the power of Ukushkach and Ukushulev and manifest in our life all variety of abilities. Ahauach always reminds us of our home, of the cleanliness of our home, of our physical home, and of our body that is our sacred home, as well as our energy body and our aura and the space that we inhabit. Ach brings us the power of the authority over our personal space. This is an important authority for all of us. It brings us the authority to protect ourselves, to draw protection to us from Mother Earth, from our ancestors. We can think of Ach as the staff or the cane. I would invite all of you to, on this day 7 Ach, to play with this energy. Imagine it in a short meditation. Imagine holding your own staff of authority for all of your abilities, all of your talents. Please give a thanks for those talents and abilities. Give thanks for the ability to hold your own space, energetically. If you have awareness of your aura and your energy body, for the ability to cleanse and hold that space clean and pure and just you. On this day 7 Ach, unite your own energy with the protective energies of nature. That might sound kind of contrary. What does he mean by the protective energies of nature? Gosh, if I go into nature, it's mosquitoes and snakes that bite me and jaguars that are going to eat me, and it's not safe out there. How can I be protected by nature? By grounding ourselves very deeply, by grounding that energy that we always have access to, and also grounding our home space, grounding our physical body, but also extending that grounding energy out to the 4 corners of our home. If you can ground your own energy, you can also ground the 4 corners of your home. That's really, really holding your sacred space. And you can practice this in your own home. And I would encourage all of you on 7 Ach to acknowledge the authority you have to ground your home in the forces of the elements of nature. Feng Shui is a wonderful art that we can use. 7 Ach really reminds me of Feng Shui because it's really speaking to the elements and how we use the elements and their energies to bring harmony into our living space. So I just want to leave that to you for all of you to use in your own creativity, whether it's through feng shui or perhaps through use of crystals in your home. I like to do candle offerings or light a votive candle in the four corners of my home and light incense in the four corners of my home to give thanks for the earth, air, fire, and water, north, south, east, and west corners of my home. Um, so use your creativity not only to just sweep up the detritus, but really, I'm encouraging you to bring some grounding into the arts of the space and energy, the sacred energies of earth, air, fire, and water, heaven, and heart of the earth in your own home on 7 Ach. And by maintaining your own sacred space, by maintaining your aura, I also want to say that is an ancestral authority, an ancestral power. And by doing so, by maintaining your aura clean and grounded, you become a leader in the community around you. Because the more of us that we do this, the more of a just society, the more of a responsible society, the more of a society living in harmony with nature and the ancestral authorities we will have. So practicing really great, top-notch home energy, space, sacred space, uh, self-care is my recommendation for 7 Ach. 8 Ish is the powerhouse of this Trecena, Ish being the energy of the previous Trecena. And I'm beginning to notice how on the 8th day, well, it's always the energy of the previous Trecena. And isn't that interesting? Because it is the previous Trecena, which is just most recently empowering us. 8 Ish is a powerful, forceful, warrior, masculine energy, which is the guardian and protector of nature. I think of 8 as the four couples, the four men and the four women, the four original men and women, the four Balama, the four Balameb and the four Ishokohab. And I know I keep repeating their names and I keep saying them over and over. And I'm hoping that at some point you're going to wish to speak their names also, because these are powerful teachers. These are powerful connectors to your own earth medicine, your own earth intelligence, your own earth wisdom inside you. Those sacred 8 are powerful, ancestral authorities. This is their day. 8 Ish has such a strength and a power and a stability. And so a great day to be in the garden for almost all of us. It's gardening time. It's a wonderful time to acknowledge that our connection with the earth, air, fire, and water and the guardians of these elements, how, how much in my own life I can say in testimony, they have brought me healing and strength and solution. They're tremendous authorities in my life, and they are in your life, and they are in your life so present on this day, 8 Ish, during this Trecena of the building of our ancestral authority and our harmony with nature. I hope you can feel their presence on this day and leading you all to a deeper connection with them is how I feel I can best express my own leadership and aligning you with their leadership. 9 Tzikin can be thought of as an energy that brings all of the abundance of Mother Nature. 9 being the divine feminine Mother Nature, and Zikin being the abundant provider of multiple opportunities of abundance for all. There's tremendous authority, ancestral in authority, in the awareness of the abundance for all. I invite you to connect to this energy on this day 9 Tzikeen. If you need economic prosperity, if you need money, and if you need help envisioning abundance, envision the abundance for others as well on this day. So what I'm saying is, if you need money in your life, imagine the money flowing to others. Imagine the abundance flowing to others on this day. Pray to Ahau Belecheb Tzikin on this day for abundance for people who you know or who you don't know, who need money, who need opportunities, who need new opportunities and abundance in their life. This will bring opportunities and abundance to your life. I promise you. Ahau Tzikin, remember, is the eagle who is seeking only one unique opportunity among an abundance of all opportunities that are out there. All of that abundance is 9, Mother Nature. And Zikin is there looking over all for one simple meal once in a while, leaving the abundance for the rest. Work with this energy today to imagine more abundance for others. I have my own economic necessities, and I'm making it a point for myself on this day to do this own activity for myself, to imagine and give thanks and to ask for abundance for others on 9 Tzikeen, for abundance for all of the ecosystem and all of Mother Nature. Ask for Mother Nature to have abundance. She's the one feeding us all. Why not just ask for abundance for her? 10 Achmak is a real interesting day because this is a day where we're getting the power of the ancestors, the closing of cycles in 10, coupled with the enlightenment and the empowerment that we receive with our ancestors inside of us and by our side as we move through our changes, as we explore the world, as we make mistakes, as we correct our mistakes, and we gradually become enlightened. This is the learning and evolving and enlightenment of Ahau Achmak, coupled with the ancestral number 10. 10 really brings us this energy of the closing of cycles, of bringing us full circle, of reminding us of our ancestors in the 10, of those who've come before, the cycles that have come before, our own cycles of birth and death and renewal that have come before, our own changes, our own evolution and enlightenment, which is coming to us through Ahau Achmak and all of the other energies that are working with us. And there's a very special power that we get on this day. During this Trecena, where we are connecting more deeply to our ancestral authority, we're being given the authority to ask for permission. We often ask Ahau Achmak to help us with our forgiveness and help us for our release work and help us for our correction work. We can also work with this energy to ask for permission so that we don't have to correct our mistakes afterwards. I'm learning a lot from my teacher, Ahau Achmak, about just this very thing, about asking for permission, And so I really want to encourage you all to explore this concept of asking for permission. Get creative with asking for permission from your ancestors, from your grandmothers and grandfathers to help you with whatever it is you want and or need to see be realized, whatever you desire. This activity sets things in motion. Think about this from the perspective of metaphysics. If I ask for something, if I ask for permission for something, I'm setting into motion something to happen. In Mayan spirituality, we're taught that the ancestors are there to help us, to protect us, to encourage us, to empower us, and that it behooves us to speak their names and to speak to them so they hear what we need. We need to get quiet to be able to hear them. We also need to use our voice to tell them what we need. And if we ask them for permission for what it is we need, or what we want, what we desire, it opens doors. It's different than saying, I want this. Can I have this? Will you give this to me? It's asking, may I have permission to have this? You see, you're opening a doorway for a movement, an energy that is in movement, because asking permission engages an energy that we will work with. We're asking for permission for this to happen. We're asking for this opportunity to get more energy from you, grandmothers and grandfathers, as I set it forth, as I speak it with your assistance. So that's what I'm encouraging for you to express your own ancestral awareness, express your own ancestral authority, to ask permission of the ancestors. This is the authority they've given to you, the authority to ask them for help. It sounds almost ridiculously simple, except we don't always do it. So try that, play with that. 11 No brings revolutionary thinking to our lives, and that's today's energy. Revolutionary number 11, coupled with our mind and our intelligence and our learning and our knowledge and our wisdom. 11 No really is actually kind of promising wisdom as well as intelligence and knowledge. Wisdom comes from revolutionary thinking. Wisdom does not come from static thinking. Wisdom comes from intelligence that is tested and retested and retested. And what is that intelligence? I want to go back to the elementary intelligence, the intelligence of the fire, the intelligence of electricity, the intelligence of darkness and all of matter, the intelligence of water and the intelligence of air. Our building of true wisdom comes through the testing and retesting and developing of knowledge through that retesting of all of that wisdom. And that wisdom is available to us when we go to nature, when we put our head to the ground and we speak to Mother Nature and say, fill my mind with your wisdom. So Revolutionary problem solving comes with this day also. And if you have a problem or you need some intelligence and you would like some, ask a how hula hu noch, hun 11 noch. Ask a how 11 noch to bring you some revolutionary thinking. Maybe you really do need the wind to blow your mind. Ask the wind to blow your mind. Maybe you really need the rains to wash your brain. Go out in the rain and let the rain do that. Connect with the elementary intelligence and, and invite revolutionary thinking. Revolutionary thinking is changing thinking. And if you think about it, it's how Mother Nature's intelligence works. Because it's always in change, it's always in flux. The intelligence itself is being composted and recomposted. So going beyond what's known, that's what builds our knowledge. And it's the wisdom and intelligence of the elements that will always bring revolution and renovation to our intelligence. 12 Tihash brings the ability, the power of refinement, the power of clarity, of bringing clarity to our life. It's the Tihash, it's the obsidian, the obsidian blade, the obsidian knife that cuts away that which no longer serves us. We use this energetically because obsidian has such a high vibration for cleansing and clearing our own energy. So it's used for working energetically. And you can work with the Tihash on this day. You can work with it on any day. But the Tihash and the medicine of Tihash and our ability to heal ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually through the elements, through the wisdom of the elements, and working with the four bodies medicine, we produce true equilibrium and balance for ourselves. That's the whole point of the medicine. 12 Tihash is a very powerful teacher of medicine, teacher of balance and equilibrium. In Mayan spirituality, we do not conceive of illness beyond imbalance. Imbalance in the physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual body. If we have imbalances in our energy body, it's going to show up in our physical or our emotional or our mental body. If we have mental blocks, it will block our energy body. It will block us physically from meeting and realizing what we need to physically. So if we have blocks in any of the areas, then we have imbalance. And so Tihash is there to remind us of balance. Tihash is the energy to bring balance, to bring clarity. This is the refinement within us, the refinement that helps us refine our greed, refine our ego, refine our traumas and our hurts, helps us to refine our lack of humility, refine our lack of respect, refine our lack of harmony with nature. Work with the energy of a Hau Tihash on 12 Tihash to cut out whatever is not in harmony with nature. That's the best way to use your power of cleansing and of healing in a safe and healthy way. 13 Kawok culminates the development of our harmony with nature in such a beautiful way. 13 Kawok, the family, the community, our ecosystem, our place within the whole community of people, of animals, of plants, and the whole environment with which we are a part. A Kawok is the whole, holistic aspect of ourselves, 13 Kawok being the universal holistic energy. This is the great energy of psychic intuition. I hope you can all see how psychic awareness and awareness of the whole community, the awareness of the intelligence of the whole community is what makes a great leader. When we have true awareness of every member of the community, that's a good leader. I'm looking for the leader in the world who has a tremendous awareness of everyone in their community. Those are the people who I consider leaders. The people who are really out there with sincerity, seeking to see and to understand and to appreciate everyone and everything in their path in their day, and dedicating themselves to keeping it that way. So picking up garbage and removing and helping out where it's suddenly needed. The ability to see the whole, you see, is a powerful ancestral authority. I think you can all imagine the power of the leader in any indigenous community. The leaders, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, their wisdom, their power that they hold is because as leaders, they are looking out for everyone. The more we can adapt a perspective of looking out, not only for ourselves, we must look out for ourselves. The turtle shell of Ahau Kawok reminds us all, maintain your own shell and your own protection, and keep your energy protection and your aura yours, so that you can go out into the world and meet and greet and play and work with all people of and all energies, of all stripes, of all races, of all beliefs, who are better than you, who are less than you, who are more than you. The leaders in the indigenous world, in the Mayan world, in the world of Mayan ancestral authority are the ones who are looking out for everybody. What a beautiful, loving feeling. Just connect with that energy on this day, 13 Kawok. Meditate on this energy. Meditate on this community love. Be a great day to do community, to do meditation in community, to do group meditation for the wellness, the being, and awareness of all members of the community. We can't be great leaders if we're leaving some people or some members out of the paradigm. We can't be visionary, and we can't be intuitive, and we can't have our psychic abilities, which are the gifts of Ahau Kawok, the one consciousness of all of nature and all intelligence, all universal intelligence is the gift of Kawok. But we're not going to get there if we're holding some people away from our mind. I don't think that that's how it works. The psychics in the group, the ones who work with this, maybe they can correct me and say, "Oh yeah, we keep those people, those stupid people out of the picture, or those people who believe this or whatever." No, 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 no. You want to see the whole picture. We want to see everything that everyone believes. That doesn't mean we have to believe it. Again, the turtle shell reminds you of your aura. So, Grandmother Turtle, O Shlahu Walk, thank you for protecting me. Thank you for showing me my way with my own aura to keep my own space clean and grounded and connected to the energies of nature, to the elements and the four directions. So I'm really grounded so that I can go out there and I can play and I can be in the world with all of these crazy people and creatures doing all their different things, and I can learn from them. This day reinforces our harmony with nature and knowing. The more I talk about it, the more I'm sharing it with you, the more I'm asking you to really go into this great field of universal nature. All four elements carry intuitive information. We've been talking about that. All creatures, darkness, lightness, all energies. So enjoy this Trecena. Harmonize with nature, get closer to nature, draw yourself to the elements of nature, explore with them, play with them, speak to Balam Kitse and Kahpaluha, guardians of the fire, guardians of the east, guardians of the spiritual pathway of your energy body. Speak to them, ask them for help, ask them to help and guide you on your own path, reclaiming your own ancestral authority, your own spiritual authority. Speak to Balamakab and Chomicha, guardians of the darkness, of the setting sun, of all matter, of all physical matter, of all of Mother Nature. Speak to them. Speak to them to open your pathway physically, economically, in your family relationships, in what you're building and what you're creating, for their assistance, for their guidance, for their help, for their authority, to open your own authority with the physical world. Speak to Mahankuta and Sunumicha, guardians of the water, of the south, of the lakes, the rivers and streams, guardians of the emotions, of our sensing abilities, of our intuition. Speak to them to open your intuition, to help you with your emotional grounding work and your continued work with releasing old emotional blocks, barriers, and traumas, as well as building your intuition and building your psychic and intuitive and clairvoyant abilities. Speak to Ikbalam and Kak Ishicha, the authorities of the wind, of the north, of the mental pathway. Speak to them and ask them to connect your mind to the mind of the ancestors. Speak to them to help you gain greater facility with your breath, greater depth with your breath. Speak to these authorities. I invite you to really speak to the authorities yourself. They are not just for Mayan spiritual guides and teachers and priests. They are for everyone. They are the ancestral authorities. They are the true authorities and bringers of wisdom and intelligence in your life. So I invite you to speak to them yourselves. And so have a wonderful time connecting with this wisdom and intelligence and this authority. I hope that you find greater authority in your life with Mother Nature. And I know that all of us and all of you are at the same time enhancing your own leadership qualities and your own qualities as leaders. So good luck, have fun, enjoy creating with nature. Have a good night. Maltiosh, Maltiosh, Maltiosh. Happy Trecena of Kej.